Welcome back. We're now joined by film critic Julia Swift to hear her thoughts on a new documentary titled The Big Vape. Hello, Julia.
Hello. So this is a new series. We're seeing a lot of documentary series come out, and this is about Juul. And I knew a little bit about Juul, and I think a lot of people do. We've heard some things in the news. And what this does is it takes the rise and fall of this company that became one of the biggest companies in the United States for a while. It was making so much money. And it really tells you what happened in a way that is super entertaining and super fun. R.J. Cutler, who directed it, he also directed Billie Eilish, The World's a Little Blurry, which I didn't know if you saw, but was such a beautiful documentary, and American High. Those two were really artistic documentaries that got you into this feeling and really made you think and feel things. This is not that. It's still really powerful, but it's much more of a news piece, right? This is, if you don't know the story of how these two guys from students at Stanford they had a school project. They were grad students and they had a school project and they were out smoking in the hallways and they were like, everyone looks down on us because we smoke and we have such a hard time quitting. We should make some healthier way to smoke and where people don't look down on you because you're not getting these bad smells, right? So that's where it came from, super interesting. And they got angel investors. It also talks a lot about like, wow, how do angel investors invest and what do they do when it's a product that could be bad for society? I never knew, but most angel investing funds won't invest in something that they think is bad for society. So they had to get individual investors. And it talks about how you get all this together and then you hire these people who think that they're going to change the world and they're going to get rid of smoking, but then you advertise to kids by making it this really cool thing and making it look amazing and fun and parties, and then it sort of seeps into society and goes to kids and you do flavors. So there's that part, but it really doesn't let you choose for yourself, which is fine. In the end, I sort of felt it was so beautiful seeing all the ads that it made me go, oh, I don't smoke, but this looks kind of cool, which I think might have been purposeful because it was showing you the amazing power of those ads. So it's a really strong, well done, fascinating documentary that brings you into so many worlds, which is awesome. I think it could have been 3 episodes instead of 4. I think there was a lot of repetition in imagery. One fabulous thing that they did is, and a lot of documentaries are doing this nowadays, where you start doing animation, because when you're doing recreations in animation, it doesn't push the audience back so far to think, oh, this isn't real. We sort of just go along with it. And then the one other thing I have to mention is, in the trailer for this, they show another thing I had heard about Juul, which is that people were starting to get respiratory failure. And actually, they weren't getting respiratory failure because of Juul, but we never heard the other side of what it was from. So again, I think it's super interesting that they're showing us these images that are really enticing. They're showing us the news that wasn't really real. And they're sort of having us go along the experience of that. And then in the end, they actually say like, okay, has this affected you kind of thing? It's talking about how powerful ads are. So it's a really interesting documentary.
Yeah, well, thank you for joining us to talk about this. And you can catch The Big Vape out on Netflix on October 11th.